Hello, my name is Miranda, and on this channel we do watercolor and art subscription boxes that we never know what's inside, and it's so much fun. In this particular video, however, we're going to be talking about art while traveling and some of the pros and cons that I discovered while participating in World Watercolor Month in July of 2020. Stay tuned. I was getting ready for a trip out of town and deciding what to take with me, and I figured I should go ahead and film that for you guys. I'm going to the lake, so lots of water, lots of risk of dropping everything in the water, but that's okay. I'm gonna be careful. I'm bringing my moleskin notebook because it's the best of what I have that is a sketchbook, and I know I want to use watercolor with it, so that's what I'm bringing. It would be lovely to have a cotton one, but I will make do because I use this one all the time and I'm quite happy enough with it. Was that a glowing recommendation or what? All right, ignore that. Ignore me. No, don't ignore me. What I am taking, I was only going to take this. This is that Mission Gold palette that I created with the 11 colors you see here. And it's still stinky. If you missed that video, watch that up there. But it has plenty of colors and lots of them still left in here, so I am excited to take this, and it's nice and flat. I'll put that in a Ziploc. All of this is going in Ziplocs in case it gets dropped in the water or splashed by the boats. And I wasn't going to take this new set, but I am, because I would just dream about it at the lake, wishing I had it to play with. So I'm taking it. And even though that means I have 2 palettes, and that's a lot, but that's okay. And then this zipper thing, which already broke the first time I used it when I went to a different lake, I have my eraser. I'm putting in my kneaded eraser, except I used it today, so there it is. Salt, my Da Vinci travel brush. This is the round size 6, and it screws back onto itself, so you get a nice long handle. Pretty big 6, but I like it a lot. Posca, a Pigma BB, my silver black velvet 6, just a mechanical pencil, my Winsor & Newton Cotman size 10, the little bestie bushy that I've used all this month in World Watercolor Month. I've kind of grown to like it. A size 5, 2, and 8 Pigma Micron, Cotman size 12 round, and a gel pen. That should be enough to get me through. And that's it. I probably won't use even a quarter of the stuff I'm bringing, but I am set to jet. Forgot about my masking tape. I'm definitely taking my masking tape as well. And here's a clip of the setting out on the lake. So I'm just sitting on my grandma's old pontoon boat. We've already tracked a ton of sand into it. The sun has cracked the seats. Nothing grand, nothing luxurious, but we are at Lake Powell getting away from everyone, and it is just heaven. However, finding the motivation and desire to paint just wasn't really high on my list, so I'd actually been at the lake several days before I even pulled my paints out. That was my reluctant niece. She doesn't like to be on camera, and I don't blame her. And just here's the setting. We had this beautiful beach with this beautiful canyon, and it was very nice. What I've discovered about painting while traveling is that I don't usually enjoy it all that much. I have found that for me personally, I like to paint when I'm all alone and not when there's a bunch of other people around. I feel like I need to really concentrate on what I'm doing, and it's hard to do when there are people around you, at least for me. Also, when you're so used to painting at home, painting in your studio, you are used to having certain supplies and certain brushes, and I intentionally pulled out this Da Vinci size 6 brush, and it was kind of too big for this painting. I should have gone back in my little stash and grabbed my silver black velvet 6 because it's way tinier. So that was interesting, but I hadn't tried this brush much, and I wanted to, so here it is. Also, this is Lake Powell, Utah in August, so talk about hot, right? So we're in 100-degree temperatures. There was a slight breeze, and so the paint was drying really fast and the whole works. It just, I don't know. Give me an indoor hotel or motel room to paint in while I'm traveling. I'm probably a lot happier, which is sad because plein air painting can be so cool. And I won't stop doing it, that's for sure. I've done it a lot. All the trips to the lake, I end up painting different lakes. The last one I showed you guys, I was in Blue Mesa, Colorado. So it was It's something I do and will continue to do, but it's not always the glamorous, cool thing that people are talking about. I'm just putting that out there. I didn't really have a plan going into this painting either, which is kind of a bad thing because I found out later I really wanted to put a paddle border into this little painting and I didn't leave white space for that. So I do put the little paddle border in there. I just kind of make it dark, and so the whole painting turns out kind of dark, and I really wanted to redo it. I just didn't get a chance to later, so it is what it is. And this is up the Escalante River arm in Lake Powell, and so the water is really green, and I wanted to capture that essence. I love the Mission Gold paints. They were fun and easy to use out here. Just everything dried really fast, so that was something. This was the only painting that I did on this trip, which is sad. There were so many pretty things to paint, but what I did console myself with is that I took a lot of good pictures, and I'm going to paint something from one of those pictures on my channel here at the end of August. I think I have it scheduled for the August 25th video. I'm looking forward to that because I can really take my time. I can be in my studio, and it's different than painting in life, but I think that for me that it's going to be a good thing, and I'm really excited to give it a try. All right, let's talk briefly about the pros and cons of World Watercolor Month. Let's go over the cons first because I like to end on a good note, so we'll end on the pros. One of the cons of World Watercolor Month is that you're kind of rushed. Kind of is not even the accurate term. You're definitely rushed if you have anything else at all in your life going on. So you have to finish each one quickly if you're going to be in the spirit of I'm going to do this every single day. Because you have 31 prompts, there's 31 days in July. You only have so much time each day. You know, we all have things going on, even with the pandemic going on. Travel still happens, family still happens, birthdays still happens, anniversaries still happen, all of life still happens. And so if you're actually going to do a watercolor piece every single day or play with watercolors every single day, you are often rushed. The second con is that there is so many paintings going on that it's really hard to put a lot of time into each one, a lot of thought, basically. So you need to come up with an idea. You need to come up with it relatively quickly and get it done. And have fun, hopefully, right? Have fun. But you're doing 31 of them in 31 days. So, it's a little bit difficult. Also, travel, life gets in the way. And I was traveling for 14 days in July. I was actually not home for 14 days in July. And I still tried to do this. So I tried to take my watercolors with me. You know, you can have the contact paper background so it still looks like you're home and all of this stuff. That's why in all my videos, I'm like, this is insane. I don't have time. I need to get this done quickly. Let's move on. So I'm hoping that you guys didn't get overly frustrated with me about that. But 14 days in July, I was gone. I should have probably just not done World Watercolor Month, but when I start a challenge, I want to finish it. And I liked this challenge. Fourth con, doing large pieces may not be feasible. Now, some people can do a large watercolor piece in no time at all, especially some things that are more abstract, more loose and flowy. That's great. But for me, I found that I needed to keep my pieces really small in order to finish them and actually be able to move on to the next day's thing. So it would be lovely to do a large piece in World Watercolor Month. If you watch the video where I painted the golden retriever, my dog, I'll link that in the corner, then you know that one, I came back to it several times. So not all in one day. The fifth con, if you want to call it a con, I'm not really sure, is that I was doing this and posting this on YouTube for you guys to enjoy too, and hopefully get some inspiration out of. Now, that's all fine and dandy. I debated not even putting this in here as a con, but it takes a long time to put together a YouTube video. I don't know, if any of you guys are YouTube creators, maybe you know this, but man, it takes a long time. You have filmed your painting process. Now you have to transfer it to the computer, and then you have to put it into a video editing software, and you have to edit, cut out things that are boring or not interesting. You have to speed up sections, slow down sections. You have to voice over sections. So really, videos alone are probably 5 to 6 hour process aside from the painting. So doing this as well as putting YouTube on top of it is very time consuming. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about becoming a YouTube creator. It's really fun. It's worth it. I love the people that I'm meeting, my subscribers, my new people coming in. It's really nice for that. and worth it, but it's a lot of work. All right, now let's get into the pros of World Watercolor Month, because this is the fun part. There's lots of creating, and it can spark an idea for a larger, more detailed piece or something you want to do again in the future in maybe a slightly different way. So lots of creativity going on. You're creating 31 pieces in 31 days. You're bound to come up with something that's really neat, and that I really love. The second pro of World Watercolor Month is that you can try all of your different watercolor paint brands. You saw in my videos, hopefully you've watched them. I'll put the playlist link in the description below, maybe in the iCard in the corner. If you haven't seen my videos, go watch those and you'll see that I dig out all my different paints. I try probably most of them. That is really fun. And the fact that you're trying them back to back, because you're doing these right after each other, is awesome. Because you could go use your Roman small paints 1 month and then go use your Mission Gold paints a month or 2 later. But do you really know how this paint compared to this paint when it's so long in the future? Probably not. And so that was really cool, trying them back to back, and you were like, oh wow, I remember how much I really like this paint, or wow, this one's not nearly what I remembered it being. You can try all of your different paper brands. I get a lot of different paper brands and things to try because of the art subscription boxes that I receive with a lot of different paper types and brands. So even if we're talking all watercolor, you saw in my videos, I use the Hanaumile watercolor postcards, the Strathmore watercolor postcards. I use that really fancy Hanaumile paper block. I used the Fabriano Artistico block. I used Arches block. I used the fluid sheets, and I actually really liked those. I did that Lake Powell painting on. So anyway, you get the point. I suggest you do that. Number 4, it increases your skills and knowledge of your watercolor supplies. This all goes hand in hand with each other. But if you're using your different paints every single day, different paper every single day, plus you are painting every single day, some kind of subject, you're going to get better at drawing, because you have to sometimes sketch out your paintings before you paint them. You're going to get better at painting. You're going to get to know all your paints way better, and all your colors and your color combinations, things like that. It just can't help but increase your skills and your knowledge of your supplies. So definitely a big pro. The next one is that, the last one is that you can surprise yourself and make something amazing. I never thought about painting a baby in watercolor, but this piece here is actually one of my favorites. It made me realize that if I wanted to paint a baby, maybe one of my friends has a baby and I want to paint that baby, normally I'd be really scared to do that. But after doing this baby here, I realized I could probably do it successfully. And that's a nice feeling to have. So not only can you create something amazing that may spark an idea, or you get an amazing piece out of these 31, it also can increase your confidence about creating something amazing in the future as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time that you spent here on my channel. If you like the content you see, consider subscribing. Thank you so much to all my existing subscribers. You guys are awesome. It's fun to get to meet a few of you in the comments here and there. And I will see you in the next video on Friday. And what's that one going to be about? Oh, we have a mystery art subscription box on Friday. At least it's supposed to show up today, so we'll see how that goes. All right. Take care. See you in the next one. What are we talking about in this video? Art while traveling, World Watercolor Month, pros and cons. That's probably it. Okay. The benefits of it. Can't think of any benefits. I am Miranda. I am. Yeah. Second pro is that you can try all your different paint. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know which corner that's going to be now that I'm looking. I don't often look at the camera. It's usually my hands on the tabletop. But anyway, it kind of goes back to back, neck to neck. It goes hand in hand, hand in hand. Thanks so much for joining me. What am I supposed to say here?